Oops, it's a little windy, just a little bit. Guys, what's going on, and welcome back to another day with the F350 and another day with another little quick mod underneath the hood. In this video, I'm gonna do the CCV mod, which is a crankcase ventilation tube, which is kind of at the bottom here underneath the intake. Basically, there's a hose that goes from the valve cover and then it connects to the intake, and that basically vents the crankcase, and all the oils with the fumes go inside the intake, and then it goes into the turbo, goes into the intercooler piping, and then that's how you get all that oil buildup, which I cleaned, you guys seen in the previous video, where this whole area was just covered in so much oil and dirt and just junk. And that's because of that CCV hose that goes in there. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the intake, turn that cap around, the one that's over here, and then once I turn around, the hose will be on the back, and then I'm going to run connector down, and that's going to pretty much vent down underneath the engine, and it's not going to get the pipes dirty anymore. On newer vehicles, people install catch cans, and that's pretty much what it does. It catches the oil and it doesn't go back into the intake, back into the engine. On these trucks, I mean, I can install a catch can, which I might even do eventually also. That way you're not dripping oil underneath the engine when you're driving or parking, because eventually it's going to start dripping from that hose as well, because it's going to vent some oil a little bit into that hose over here, and that's going to go down and it's going to start dripping on the bottom here. So I might eventually over time install a catch can of some sort on this truck, but for now I'm just going to go ahead and dump it, just so I can keep the engine bay clean, nice and clean. Alright, so what I gotta do is remove the intake pipe and then the intake cover, and then I'll be able to get to this little area, which is a little plastic section, and that's where the pipe connects underneath. I'll show you guys in a bit. And then once that's removed, I gotta cap the hole underneath, and that should be done. It's a pretty simple mod, but it'll make things a lot cleaner in the future. Alright, let's go. They sure made it a little bit inconvenient, didn't they? Okay, let's see if I can pop this guy out. Nope, I can't. Nope. So here's what we got. We got the little, so we got this hose right here, 9-degree hose. It connects to the little plastic little intake section right here, and that connects to this little cover. And there's a screw right there and one right here, but you can't get to that one until you actually remove this. And it has those stupid clamps that you can't really remove that easily. I'm gonna see if I can I don't know, I'm gonna play with it, see if I can get in there with a screwdriver and try to pry that clamp loose just a little bit, just so I can get the hose off. Once I get the hose off, then I can remove this whole section right here. And then once that's done, we're gonna rotate it, and it's gonna be a lot easier. So much room and everything's in the way. I think we got it. So basically you want to try to kind of shove it in inside the... Okay, well I think we got one side. Basically, I'll show you in a minute, but... There we go. Well, actually, well, if you pull it hard enough, it's gonna come off even on the clamp side. So... Oops. It's a little windy, just a little bit. Just a little windy, guys. Alright, so this section right here is really hard to remove from that section. They're both really hard plastics compared to this one right here. The intake, the bigger piece right here, is more of a flexible rubber. And I do want to remove both of these so I can look at the turbo real quick and actually clean that pipe, because it's pretty filthy, as you can see. And also inside you can see where the CCV shoots the oil into the intake, and that goes into the turbo. This little I guess it's a tube, right? I think air goes in here, like a small little air tube, and same thing for there. That goes to the turbo over there. But they're both connected to this little piece right here, that one right there. I don't know why it's made like that. Maybe, I don't know why they couldn't just make one piece. But in order to remove this tube, I gotta unplug this section right there, and there's also another plug for the red one at the bottom here. So basically there's like 3 little connections that need to go together. It doesn't seem that bad, but it's kind of a weird design in my opinion, but who knows. I'm not a Ford tech, so I don't know. So I'm gonna disconnect that over here, unplug that, and then pull this whole section out, clean that out. I'm not gonna worry about disconnecting these two. Might as well stay together, but I need to clean the tube with the plastic tube, and then plug the hole on the bottom here, and then install this back in, and actually and rotate the cover over here for the CCV, and then get a 90-degree angle for here. Maybe pick up a couple 2 clamps to replace those 2, because those are a pain in the butt to reclamp and unclamp if I really need to do that again. So let's carry on. Let's go. So this red one snaps in here, the green one goes in this hole. Well, looks like it just kind of snaps in there. Let me see. Well, there you go, guys. You don't have to remove all this mumbo jumbo. You could just unplug the hose right here. Well, I didn't know that, and I don't want to pull on it too hard because I wasn't sure if it was glued in or part of the intake pipe. But now you guys know. Like I said, I'm learning with you guys with this truck. I'm kind of new to this whole 7.3, but now you know. If you want to remove that, you can just pull it out and it's good to go. All right. And another good thing of wife doing flowers, I get these boxes from the flowers that I can use. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do and spray this guy with some degreaser. I'm going to brush it a little bit because there's a lot of oil buildup here, and I'm going to clean it up. It's going to be nice and clean, and we're going to put it back in, and it's going to be nice and clean for next time to work with. Alright, so the pipes are pretty nice and clean. And then let's check the turbo out real quick. Let's wipe this guy a little bit. There we go. Alright, no play at all, so that's good. No play up and down, no play in and out, and spins nice and freely, no weird sounds coming out of here, so that's good. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and install this cover back on. Now this one you want to be careful because these actually come out, little tubes, and the O-rings that were on here, make sure you don't lose them. They are not holding on with anything but oil. Basically you want to put them on the valve cover and then carefully place this guy over. And you want to make sure that the O-rings are nice and centered where they should be. And then you take the bolts, put those in there. And make sure you get them kind of nice and seated in the hole. And tighten this down. You don't have to tighten it too much. There's no pressure in there, it just vents through here. Alright, that's good. Alright, now for the hole right here, let's see, I got this one won't fit. This one, actually that one will fit, and this one's too big. Okay, so I got this one. You don't have to clamp this down if you have one that's nice and tight. There we go. And there we go. The hole is covered. You don't need to clamp it because it's nice and tight in there. If you get a loose one, then yeah, you should probably get a clamp on here. But in my case, I'm good to go. Alright, here's what I picked up at the store down the street. It's a 1/2 inch heater hose. So that should be... I was looking to see if I can find one same thickness and then just connect them both together with one of those little hose connectors. But this would actually work. 1/2 inch will actually work a lot better because you can actually put it in there pretty tightly. And then I got a clamp. It'll go on here and one will go on right here, and I don't have to worry about having another clamp right here, and that's gonna go down just like that. And I'm gonna zip tie it somewhere down on the frame and we'll see what it looks like. So let me install this on real quick and I'll show you what it looks like. So we got that CCV mod right here, and that's gonna go down, and I'm gonna figure out where to put it, somewhere in the bottom, and just zip tie it so it doesn't flop around. I'm gonna look in a minute and see where we can put that. But pretty much this area is pretty much done. Now I can put the airbox on. And we got the tube, the pipe, and that goes in here. And yeah, now that I cleaned the pipe, and now that I got it cleaned, it feels so much better. You're not actually grabbing, you know, my hands are nice and clean now. So next time I'm gonna do a mod, which is gonna be an intake mod. It'll be a lot easier to work with this pipe. Nice and tight. Here we go. That's good, that's good. Tighten it by hand. Okay. There we go. All right, now let's go underneath the truck and see what we have. So basically it goes from here and down, and from the bottom, it basically comes down this way. You want to make sure you're not touching the headers as well. I zip tied it right here to the harness, and then continue on this way. I had about 4 feet, so I had some room. I didn't want to cut it short. And it comes down right in front of the transfer case. And I'm actually curious how much is going to be dripping. This is what it looks like from outside of the truck. I mean, I might cut it a little bit shorter. Maybe take off 2 inches off of that. Or also, if you want to maybe like get like a 5 feet, 6 foot, you can run it to maybe here and make it come out of here, out of this spot right here. That might be kind of a good idea as well. Or put it in the hole right here, put it through there. Some people run it all the way to the back of the truck, or some people dump it right in front of the axle or behind the axle. There's always a bunch of options, like this right here, this hose. I think that's, what is that from? I don't know what that's from, but from somewhere. That's from, well, that's actually, I'm glad I checked it out. That's actually, looks like a, all right, that's a vent hose that was supposed to be connected right here to the front axle. I'm glad I saw that, so now I'm gonna have to remove this little piece and reconnect it. I guess it rips sometimes. Maybe I ripped it when I was doing the 2-inch spacer in the front. I can see that happening because I was trying to push the front axle down, and I might have ripped it. So I'm glad I caught that. So I'm gonna have to reconnect that so debris does not fall in from the top of the hole. All right, guys. So that'll be it for this little mod. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. And what's coming up next on the next video is this guy. There we go. Intake by Riffraff. Something that I have been personally waiting for quite a while. That's gonna be on the next video. And if you're wondering why I didn't do this when I was doing the CCV mod, is because I kind of wanted to show you guys just the CCV mod first, and then show you everything that's going to be involved by actually just changing the air filter and putting this guy in, because I'm going to need to do quite a bit more steps to install that. It's going to take a little bit of time to put it on, and making a video with the CCV mod and then the intake is going to get too confusing. That way, if you guys wanted to do the CCV mod yourselves, you can kind of see just the CCV mod. And if you want to watch just the intake, you're going to watch just the intake. You're not going to watch CCV mod and the intake together, because that might be, like I said, might be a little bit too much. This way there's no confusion. I'm not mixing two mods together, and you guys can see everything that was involved just by doing that particular mod. All right, now that I did everything that I could as far as maintenance goes, the water pump's not leaking, the oil has been changed, antifreeze, new antifreeze, and now what I'm gonna do is I wanna actually test and see what I'm gonna get MPG wise. I'm gonna fill up the tank and I'm gonna drive for maybe a week or so, and then I'm gonna see what I get. I'm probably gonna use up about half the tank, and I'm kind of curious. What do you guys think is gonna get in stock form? It's a 4x4, 6-speed manual, dually 4-door crew cab, everything stock, new oil, antifreeze, new water pump. But as far as everything else, everything's gonna be nice and stock, and I'm gonna be driving it about 70% freeway, 70 to 80% freeway. So, and then once I get the results for old stock, then I'm gonna go ahead, install the intake, and then do the same thing and see if that actually improves something. I'm thinking maybe I'll get 1 to 2 MPGs increase from a new intake, maybe. So I'm kind of curious. So once again, thanks for watching. If you're new, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. See ya.